Hello, everyone. I hope I am clearly audible to all of you. Good evening to all of you. Welcome to this batch where, like Dipanshu mentioned, we'll be learning about the Python and we'll be going through the concepts of automation and understand how automation works in the world of networking. So, as you already know, my name is Chirag. I'll be accompanying you on this journey of learning automation, and we will learn all these concepts that are quite important nowadays for surviving as a network engineer with the skill of automation, right? So before we get started with the content, I would like to know all of you as well. So I would really appreciate if you guys can one by one introduce yourself. You can tell me about your current work experience, your knowledge in Python or automation, and then probably what are your expectations from the training. So one by one, I'll call your names and you guys can introduce. We have Jose. Jose George, are you there?
I mean, George.
Yes. Hi.
Yeah, right. My name is George. I'm from Kerala. Um, and I have an overall experience of 11 plus years in the field of networking. Currently, I'm working with USG. I don't know much about, to be honest, I don't know much about automation. Hopefully, I can learn. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you, Aju. And then we have Bhuvan Joshi.
Hi Chirag, hi everyone. Yeah, so I have total 12 years of experience in the network industry, including routing, switching, and the firewall security. Now I want to learn about the automations, how automation is actually works in the uh, day-to-day activities. At the moment, I don't have any knowledge about the automation. Thank
Got it.
you.
Thank you, Bhuvan. Then we have Christian with us.
Sorry, is that me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, yeah, my name is Christian. I'm actually out of Virginia in the United States. I been working network industry for 15 years. I currently work as a network engineer for hyperscaler. And I've been kind of starting and stopping a journey within automation. And since I had some time, next couple weeks, I decided to sign up for this to get deeper, get advanced, and basically figure my journey out in automation, really, because it's pretty critical going forward as a network engineer, I think. Yep.
Great. Thank you for the introduction. Then we have Deepika.
If you enjoyed the content of the video, don't forget to like and share the video and subscribe to our channel.
Hi, Deepika. Are you there?
Yeah, hey, my mic was not working for a minute. Hi, everyone. My name is Deepika. I've been a network engineer for around 7 to 8 years now, been working in fintech. I'm also been interested to learn automation, but with work and I hardly get the time. So I thought joining up a class would be good as I'd be on it every day and their batch would be there. So it'll be easier to learn and discuss and hear from everyone. And as Chirag said, this is definitely one of the most common requirement I'm seeing in every job I'm trying to look at. So I think going forward for network engineers, automation definitely is very basic. That's why I'm looking forward to learn from this class.
Great. Thank you, Deepika. Very well mentioned that now it's no longer, we can say, good to have information. It is a need of the hour, we can say. So,
yeah, earlier it was like there were specific automation engineers were different and network engineers like hardware were allowed to exist, but now there is no discrimination like that. Every network engineer is by default expected to know Python, Ansible, something basic, but you have to have the skill. That's how it's become. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Then we have Durgai Rajan.
Hi, everyone. My name is Durgai Rajan. I'm from France. I'm in the software industry. I have my own company in France. I do consulting for networking and as well also for DevOps. So I'm also basically a DevOps engineer. So I joined PyNet Labs and I did a couple of courses with them. So I just wanted to follow their, I wanted to see how it does, our network automation is done. That is the main reason I joined this course. Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Durga Rajan.
Thank you.
Then we have Aram.
Yes, I'm Aram Amuzo from Germany. I'm also a greenhorn when it comes to network automation, Python scripting. I have over 15 years experience with firewalling and networking component. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited to see how things work here.
That's great. Then we have Hari.
Hi, Chirag and everyone. Myself, Hari. I'm from basically Tamil Nadu, but I'm living in Hyderabad. I'm working in, Vodafone Idea Network as a network design and capacity planning team. Now, we are working in, almost I have 10 years experience. So now we are in our networking transition phase from traditional to automation. So hardware changes and OS software changes. So many changes in transition space. So mostly we are under an learning some tools that our management is asking. Learn some automation and develop your skill in automation area. So we asked my colleagues, so they referred your institute. So I joined to learn that automation. I want to start that automation career. So that's why I joined. This is my background.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Hari. Glad to know that you got a reference about us.
Yeah.
Great. Then we have Krishna Reddy.
Yeah, hi Chirag. Good evening and good evening all. Hi, my name is Krishna Reddy. I am from Bangalore. So I have total 13 year of experience in networking. So I'm working routing switching and I'm working on Cisco AC and Cisco DNA. So in the legacy network we are working. So moreover in coming days, all companies are moving towards automation, and we can hear that this Python script, Ansible, and Kubernetes, GitHub. So many words are coming in our network engineer mouth. So if we heard that words, actually, it's very new for us. Actually, even though we have go ahead forward in a networking, so but still we are lagging on automation side. So still we are in a baby. Okay, not even grown up babies. So that's why actually, so as a network engineer, we should learn parallelly that automation also. So how we need to use that automation in a networking. So it will be good skill set for us, and it will be the good feature in. So that's why. So I thought I requested my friends actually. So they have suggested PyNet Labs, networkings, and networking home in Bangalore. It's very near to me, even a couple of kilometers only. Okay. So many of my network guys have suggested for PyNet Labs for automation. You are the toppers and leaders in India. So that's why just I gone through here. Thank you all.
Thank you, Krishna. Thank you for saying such good words about us. I'm glad to know that we like people are liking the content. So yeah, that's what our main motive has always been.
No, as I know, so every other tutors who are going to be in leading tutors, so they're giving the contents. Okay, so I believe you're going to make all how many people are there here. So all people you're going to make automation engineer at least in a basic level.
Yeah.
So just I'm hoping that one.
Yeah. Thank you, Krishna. Then we have Lalit.
Hey, hi all. I'm Lalit Kameshwar. So I've been in touch with Nitish for like 2 years now, and trust me, the first time that I spoke to him was on 14th of September 2023. I was looking at my chat. Uh,
Oh,
I've been
okay.
trying to take time out for this class, and like many of our friends on the call mentioned, that this is the way forward, right? And then
Yeah.
we're not. I'm like, I don't think different. I've been on and off on on automation, predominantly on Python, and again, it's more of assisted development, I would say. If you give me a code, I can probably go through it, the basics of it, look around, but uh, I really need to get my fundamentals strong. So that's the whole purpose. Looking forward to learn as much as we can. I lead a team of developers today. We develop really fancy stuff for some of our customers. Then I thought, like just leading them. I think I thought I should lead them by example, by getting my hands dirty. So that's the whole
Great.
purpose of me
Yeah.
being on this. Thank you.
Yeah. Great. Thank you, Lalit. Then we have Napoleon.
Hey, hi, Siraj. Hi.
Hi, everyone. Hi.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Hi, Napoleon.
Yeah, hi. I'm Napoleon from Tamil Nadu. Yeah, I have been 13 plus years of experience in data network. I am expertise with routing, switching, and Cisco Aruba Wireless, and also Cisco ICE, Cisco DNAC, and then
Yeah.
SD-WANs. So now, as actually everybody said, so now we are moving towards automations in the networking domain also. So I want to explore. So how, yeah, I choose network domain because I wasn't good at coding. So that's why I choose networking 13 years before.
Now you are back to
But
coding.
yeah, so after 13 years, so it's again, I'm going on the first level, right? Again, so now it's coding into the networking. So I was really in trouble, I think. So I just want to explore whether, I was about to choose CCNA and CCNP as well. But before that, I want to see whether I'm able to do the coding part in that. So yeah, first I want to what I say. Yeah, I want to check myself whether I'm capable or not. So that's why I joined CCN automation.
That's great. That's great to challenge yourself and figure
Yeah.
out if you can do something which you struggled with at a time. And trust me, there is not that level of uh, complexity. I'll not say that, okay, it's very basic or something. Definitely, it's gonna be new for many of us because we have never touched any programming language as a network engineer.
Yes.
But still, I can definitely say that it's not going to be a very difficult task. We'll keep it slow and we'll start from the very scratch and basics. So I'll make sure that all of us catch up and get on the same page. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Siraj. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we have Nishant.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Great. Hi, good evening all. Like myself, Nishant Raghav basically from Gurgaon. And I have around 12 years of experience in network domain, which include your LAN, WAN, wireless, firewall, and even though your DNAC, ICE and all, in flavor of your wireless, Aruba and Cisco both. In terms of SD-WAN, I worked on majorly on your Viptela. As already everyone said, it's about all the domains. There is a WAN going on controller, data center going on controller, as your wireless going on control as well. So everything is going on controller. So we required a certain interface between them to communicate, to have all the logs input, and to make them into a usable format. We required certain language to which can interpret the raw data into a valuable form for us, which we want.
Right.
So we have certain tools like Postgres and all, but exactly to make into a useful data which we want, we require automation tool. We can make the logic but here we are being here to just know how to create a code for that. That's the basic thing which we require to have interaction with the tool. So even though we have learned or done our coding part long back into your engineering domain part, C, C++, and all, but after that, we don't get a much chance to get work on your coding part. I think it's for most of the people which we have on the call.
Yeah.
So
Thanks,
that's it from my
Nishant.
side.
Yeah. Then we have Sachin.
Hi, good evening all. Myself Sachin, so I'm from Bengaluru. I've been into networking from past 8 years, working on routing switching SD-WAN. I was always interested in coding, but I never got a chance to get into the coding part. So now my Python is also getting integrated with networking automation. I have explored a bit of basics of Python and built a couple of small projects for myself using NetMiko and Paramiko libraries. So I would like to explore more and build a proper career on network automation.
That's great. Thank you, Sachin. Then we have Sandesh.
Hi, I'm Sandesh. I'm working as a network engineer since 2015, and I have total experience of 15 to 18 years in IT industry in various domain. I only worked in NOC environments, not into designing. So looking forward to upgrade my career. I'm looking for automation as a good tool to advance in my career right now.
Great. Thank you. Then we have Satish. You can introduce yourself.
Hi, hearing right? Hi. Achira, good evening.
Good evening.
Myself Satish. I have totally 10 plus year experience in networking domain. Presently, I'm working in Cisco in Bangalore. Okay.
Okay.
Cisco, I was implementing designing team. Presently, handling multi-project in Cisco. Presently, as per in our project, a lot of automation tools, everything adapted in the all project. So I don't have any knowledge in automation and scripting knowledge. So because of that, I need to learn coding skills and how it will work in backend. Everything I have to learn. Because of that, I joined PyNet Labs. So
That's great.
Thanks so much. Okay.
Thank you, Satish. Then we have Saurabh Sharma.
Yeah, hi all. This is Saurabh Sharma, and I'm holding 4+ years of experience from networking domain currently. And to join the PyNet Lab, basically, I'm planning to move towards the automation networking. So that reason, I joined the PyNet Labs to enhance my skills and towards the automation. Currently, I'm working in CDOC, basically as a network engineer L2. So I'm working currently in routing and switching in implementation and operations both on the traditional networks. So I'm looking that towards the automation. That's why I joined the PyNet Labs, and I'm starting my journey basically. I don't know about the scripting knowledge and the coding skills, so that's the reason I'm here.
Thank you, Saurabh. Then we have Sayan Datta.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, myself Shanta. Actually, I have near about 20 years of experience in network domain. Now you can see day by day network domain is all the legacy network, and they are all going to be in cloud, and needs some scripting tool required. So because I do not have any idea on the scripting tool, how to prepare any scripting by automation. So this need to be learned.
Yeah. Thank you, Sayan. Then we have Sushant Kohli.
Hi all, good evening. I'm Sushant. I have about 15 years of experience into LAN, WAN, SD-WAN, and a bit of network security. Now, the reason for choosing this course is basically to understand and to get to learn how to automate basic daily repeatable tasks, which are mundane, but then you need to go through complete CLIs and the same sort of commands run over about multiple devices. And with the controller based solutions becoming a norm these days. So probably some sort of integrations or leveraging the tools to perform the task in a better, smarter way. That's what the expectation is, at least to get a grip on the basic level of automation to start the career with in terms of automation. That's
Yeah,
about it. And pretty novice when it comes to experience in automation. So it's at the beginner level at the moment. Yeah.
got it. Thank you, Sushant. Then we have Sushil.
Yeah, hello all. My name is Sushil Tiwari, and I have experience of 15 years in designing and implementing of network technology, routing, switching, SD-WAN. I am completely new for automation. That's why I'm here so that I can explore and learn the automation technology from scratch. Thank you.
Thank you, Sushil. Then we have Udit.
Everyone. I'm Udit, and I am an optical networking engineer. Works for Microsoft, and actually, I tried many times to learn Python, but it was nightmare to learn all this. But now it's very useful in my profile to get automate the workflow and daily users task. So I joined this PyNet Lab. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Udit. Then we have Vijendra.
Hi everyone, this is Vijay here. I'm from Bangalore. I have 10 years of experience in networking. Python and automation is something new for me. Yeah, I'm all excited to learn and expertise in that domain.
Thank you, Vijay. Then we have Mr. Yogesh.
Yeah, hi. I'm Yogesh. I belong to Gurgaon. I'm a optical network engineer. So I have around 9 years experience in optical network engineer. So currently I'm working in Nokia as a technical specialist. So as a company demand is increasing in automation, so and for survival in that network sector, so want to learn more in involve in more network automation and want to learn more about network automation framework. Yeah, thank you.
Great, perfect. Thank you, Yogesh. Then we have an introduction in the chat as well from Balaji, and because he is traveling, he couldn't speak right now. So glad to have you all. I see there are many people coming with a great amount of experiences in their particular domains. And then there are people who are very new to automation and programming, as well as some of you might have a bit of knowledge, right? But then when we speak about Python or any programming language is something that usually network engineers don't get a chance to learn and understand, right? But now, like we all have mentioned in some manner, we realize that it is the need of the hour and it is a kind of mandatory skill to have and operate as a network engineer. Things are moving rapidly towards AI, ML, and automation, and this is the high time then where we understand these skills and utilize these skills for making our jobs a bit easier, right? So you guys already have heard about me from Mr. Dipanshu earlier. My name is Chirag. I have been with PyNet for almost 4.5 years now. And throughout this journey, I have delivered multiple batches for automation and many other technologies. The only thing that I expect from the participants of my training is their interaction. So I really like when the sessions are interactive, when people also contribute to it, because we all are here coming with a good amount of experiences in different verticals of networks. I would really appreciate if you could share your learnings and maybe contribute to the topic if you have some knowledge on that. Yeah. Other than that, anytime you have a question, you want to stop me and ask some question, you can raise your hand in the Teams chat. I'll call out your name, then you can unmute and ask your question. Rest, like Dipanshu also mentioned, please join the Telegram group. All the notes that we create, all the important files, all the lab guides, whatever material I would be sharing, I'll share over the Telegram group. So if you will be there, you will have the access to those materials. And I guess we are good to get started. So thank you again, all of you, for introducing yourself. Glad to meet you all. Now let's get started. Let's understand what is the content of this particular training and see how exactly or what exactly we are going to look into in the coming days. So the training that we are here for is a combination of Python for network engineers plus CCNA DevNet, which would be very soon rebranded to CCNA Automation, and Ansible Basics. So if you will see, this is a custom program which we have designed for specifically network engineers, because we do realize the fact that network engineers don't usually get time to explore the programming languages, right? So it's a custom program where first we introduce Python concepts, Python basics to network engineers, and we would be doing the same. Initially, we will understand the Python. We'll talk about all the Python related functions and topics that can be helpful in our network automation journey. Once we have spent a good amount of time, once we have learned Python completely, we will move towards the topic of CCNA DevNet. There we'll explore some key and important topics, which will help us become the actual network automation engineer, right? And then lastly, we will also be exploring a bit about Ansible. Although Ansible, if you will see, is not discussed as per the official syllabus. But like I said earlier, we wanted to create a program that benefits people the most. So a basic introduction is something that we have included here. And the reason behind that is that Ansible is an important tool. And that's something that you will have to deal with if, let's say, you pursue advanced automation learnings. Let's say you go for CCNP, then Ansible is an important topic from that particular curriculum. So getting a basic knowledge here at CCNA level would prepare you for the future, right? Considering that, let's understand the topics and the flow that we are going to have in our coming sessions. The first thing that we'll be talking about is software-defined networking. So we'll get in, first of all, introduction to SDN. That's the very first topic. Then we will be speaking about Python fundamentals. Under Python fundamentals, we'll cover all those things which can help us in network automation journey, like all the basics. We'll understand the syntax, the functions, the for loops, different types of data. We'll talk about conditionals, working with file, and everything basically that can help us in our journey, right? Now, like I said earlier, I'll repeat myself. We'll spend a good amount of time here just in exploring Python fundamentals or Python basics. And there is a reason behind it, which I would like to also explain to you guys. Right now, many of us would not even have the idea that what Python is capable of, right? And if, let's say, we don't know what Python can actually help us achieve or what Python is capable of, we'll also not be able to think what we can achieve through network automation, right? Currently, because we don't have much experience or we don't have much knowledge related to it, related to Python. So you all must be in doubt wondering that, okay, can I configure probably OSPF using Python? Or can you configure 10 interfaces directly through a single Python script? We are not sure, right? We don't know. But once we have spent good time with the fundamentals, once we have understood all the basics, once we have learned the Python concepts, we'll be able to think like a network automation engineer. We will know what are the capabilities of Python and what appropriate function or tool of Python can be used in what scenario, right? That's why understanding and learning Python is very crucial here for becoming network engineer. I mean, network automation engineer. So guys, make sure when we discuss this section, you have to practice as much as you can. You have to experiment as much as you can. The more you will learn about this section, the easier it will get to grasp the network automation skills. Okay, so make sure you spend good amount of time here. Then once we have learned that, we'll know the basics of network automation. So we'll understand how exactly network automation works on the routers or the switches that we wish to configure. We'll look through the basics and the libraries, which can be helpful for us. Then we will look at multiple examples of automating the iOS devices. Then gradually we will explore the different examples, different learnings related to network automation with iOS devices. And we'll also look through various concepts where we will work with files. We'll look at the various libraries that can help us, like NetMiko, GetPass, and basically we'll explore the different examples. Once we have understood all those basics, once we have practiced multiple examples related to the basic network automation, where we can try configuring routing protocols, multiple interfaces, multiple devices, and so on. Once we have done that all, we will pick up model-driven programmability. Model-driven programmability is again a crucial part of the training, where you learn important concepts like netconf, restconf, data structuring language XML, JSON, data modeling language Yang, and we'll do the relevant examples and practicals related to them. Once we have done that, we will be looking into the APIs. REST APIs are something we will explore. Once we are done with that, we will explore the some theory related topics where we'll understand how application security works, how application deployment works. We will understand version control system. We'll understand software-defined life cycles. We'll understand the Ansible basics. And then we'll also be looking at deploying configurations using Ansible. Make sense? So we can say this is a kind of overview or the major topics which we will be covering in the coming days, and this is how the flow is going to be. There are many subtopics that right now I haven't written or mentioned, which we'll be gradually exploring and learning about, like understanding how the error and exception handling works, understanding how to define a function, understanding how to use a while loop, and many other things. Those we will learn gradually as we go deeper into the concepts. But right now, writing these major topics, the idea behind writing this content and the major topics was to give you some sense of clarity on the flow and understanding on what exactly we are looking forward to. So if you have got any questions, any suggestions, anything that you would like to mention, then you can let me know. Otherwise, we are good to get started with the first topic, which is software-defined networking.
Chirag,
Yes.
that YAML will come, right? So that is also including here only, that YAML something I heard.
YAML we will
YAML.
explore in Ansible. When we'll do the Ansible basics, we'll talk about YAML there.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Sushant?
Yeah, Chirag, one question. I mean, if you can just help us know the roadmap of how to actually build into the skill set of automation. I mean, these are the basics that you've made us aware of, the course content, but from the actual network automation standpoint, what's the progression that we are expected to, go through?
Yeah. No need to worry about those things. First, we will explore all these topics. This is the actual flow which anyone should look at when they are starting off with the network automation. Because these topics, you see, like put it exactly like how you do the CCNA routing switching. So there you learn the fundamentals, right? You find out what is a networking model, what is the static routing, what is dynamic routing, right? And then when you do CCNP, you explore the depth of it, correct? Likewise, the idea behind CCNA DevNet is also the same. These topics that I have mentioned, netconf, resconf, XML, JSON, these are quite important in the we can say in the world of networking or world of network automation. You will explore them in great depth later on if, let's say, you pursue CCNP or CCIE. So understanding these topics at the first place or the fundamental knowledge of these topics is something very crucial for you to continue in this network automation journey, right? Plus, once we have completed the training, I will be guiding you with all the material and all the suggestions that you can follow to explore further the vertical and to grow further into this network automation world. Anyone else? Any other questions here? Okay, are we all cool with my pace and my handwriting and everything? Is that all fine for everyone?
Yeah, it's fine. So these are the topics which will help to write even certification, right? CCNA automations.
Definitely. I cannot say, see, I'll be very honest and clear here that no training is enough for you to get ready for your exam, right?
Okay.
You will have to put efforts, you will have to do practice, you will have to sit and read these topics. But I can definitely say that these are the most important topics. And if you understand the training topics completely and nicely, and you read a little bit about them, you can consider yourself ready for the exam. So go through the CCNA DevNet content. You will find many small theory topics. Okay. Now, those small theory topics are not something we will cover in our training. They are supposed to be read by you, by yourself, right? But if in case, let's say there is any question related to them as well, you can feel free to reach out to me.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, I think we are good then. We'll take a small breather here. Let's be back in 10 and we'll get started with the first topic, which is SDN, and we'll see how that goes. Yeah. The topic we are looking at is SDN. SDN stands for Software Defined Networking. SDN has got more and more popular every passing year, and I'm quite sure everyone here would have either worked with SDN technologies or would have at least heard the stories about it or would know what SDN is, right? It's basically something that has changed the whole entire network programmability. And now we are almost observing that most of the organization are already using SDN and most of them are still in the transition phase, right? They're looking forward to getting SDN based setups. The question is why? What is so extraordinary here in SDN and what were the limitations of traditional networks which basically makes people move towards software-defined networking. First, we will understand how the networks work traditionally, and then we will understand how and what limitations are observed in traditional networks, and what limitations are then further fixed or are addressed by SDN technology. Since the very beginning, networking has always been very traditional, right? We have various network devices that participate in a network and fulfill their responsibilities. There are devices like routers, there are switches, there are firewalls, load balancers. We have got intrusion detection systems, we have IPS, and so on. And all these devices are manufactured by various vendors as well, right? There's a list of vendors who manufacture these devices. Some of them are Cisco, Juniper, Huawei, Palo Alto, F5, Checkpoint, and so on. And like we know, most of these devices are primarily configured through CLI, right? And as a network engineer, we are supposed to know about the commands and the syntax of all these different vendors' manufactured devices. Although there are some GUI products also, like ASA, I would like to tell you, ASA, a firewall, very famous firewall from Cisco, is something that you can manage through CLI, command line interface, as well as through GUI. So it gives you the ability of managing it through CLI, as well as graphical user interface, GUI, which uses ASDM for the management. ASA stands for Adaptive Security Appliance. Let me write it here. ASDM is Adaptive Security Device Manager. So now basically I was saying that most of these devices, how do we manage them? We either connect a console cable, right? Or we, if we have a remote connectivity, then we expose it over a network and take the access through remote protocols like Telnet or SSH. Correct, guys? And I was saying that we are expected to memorize and know the syntax of all the commands that are there for these different vendors manufactured devices. Then the question is that when we connect to a device, what is the main purpose behind it? When you connect to a router, either you are looking forward to making a configurational change, right? Or you wish to monitor something which is already running, correct? So we'll think of a scenario where there is router number 1 connected to a switch, connected to certain end devices. Then there is router number 2 connecting to a switch and some end devices. The network here is 192.168.1.0, and the network here is 192.168.2.0. Between the routers, we are using, let's say, 12.10.1.0/30. Now, in order to make the LAN 1 communicate with the LAN 2, can I say I'll require some routing protocol? Yes?
Yes.
I'll connect to these devices through the console cable and will configure EIGRP here. Now, when we configure EIGRP, there are various calculations which take place. There will be calculation of feasible distance, reported distance. We will check on the feasibility condition. We'll construct a topology table, a routing table, a neighbor table, right? Then the best routes would be installed in the routing table. On the basis of the information which is there in routing table, then finally the packets would be forwarded or transmitted on different interfaces, right? And that's not just all. There is a complete step-by-step procedure which takes place when you send a traffic from one LAN to the other. For example, if we assume that, okay, this PC sends a packet to the destination here. So what will happen? First of all, it will reach the gateway, correct? Now router 1 has to check the destination IP address in the routing table in order to figure out where to forward the IP packet. There could be multiple routing protocols running like OSPF, EIGRP, or BGP, right, to learn about the networks that are there in the routing table. It will have to figure out which one is the best one by looking at the prefix length, we can say, and then select that particular route. Now R1 has to use ARP, address resolution protocol, to figure out the destination MAC address of next hop, correct? So in order to give the packet from R1 to R2, first I'll have to send out the ARP request and get the reply so that I can know the MAC address of it and I can do the layer 2 forwarding. Then the TTL value, time to live value in the packet, has to be decreased by 1. The IP header checksum has to be recalculated. The Ethernet frame checksum has to be recalculated, right? So there are many responsibilities that we actually don't realize which these routers perform when we forward any traffic or when we configure these networks. And all these tasks, starting from connecting to a device, like I mentioned here, using console or using SSH, to configuring EIGRP, calculating advertised distance, calculating feasible distance, checking on the feasibility condition, maintaining the network neighbor table, maintaining the topology table, then forwarding the data on the interfaces. All these different tasks are divided in different planes on the network devices. And when we talk about them, there are 3 planes that we discuss. The first one is management plane. Second is your control plane. And the third is data plane. Management plane is something that you provision when you access the device. So be it the console connection or be it a remote connection via SSH or via telnet, or be it the GUI access that you take, whatever way you are utilizing to access your router or to manage your router, you are using the management plane of the device, okay? Then when you configure protocols like OSPF, EIGRP, or let's say static routes, there are calculations which take place, right? So all those things which require logic, which require brain, is something that is taken care of by control plane. So control plane is kind of the mind or the brain of the network devices. So all the calculations, all the decisions, finding the best route, installing it in routing table, these are some of the few responsibilities of control plane. Finally, we have data plane. Data plane is purely responsible for forwarding the traffic. It has just one responsibility where it relies on the information that control plane supplies. So information to data plane is provided by control plane, and that information is used by data plane to send out traffic on different interfaces. I'll give you a graphical representation of this, which will make this more clear to you all. Assume that this is my router. Inside this router, now I have management plane. I have control plane. And I have the data plane. okay, we as a user can only interact with the management plane. You cannot connect directly to the control plane or data plane for making changes. So you'll be given the access to the device through the management plane. So like I mentioned, the CLI access, the GUI access, this is something which is taken care of by the management plane. Then whatever you configure would be calculated inside the control plane. So if, for example, you are running different routing protocols, like probably EIGRP, like OSPF, or let's say some static routes, they all will be present inside the control plane. Okay. Along with that, it maintains something called as REB. REB stands for Routing Information Base. So EIGRP maintains neighbor table. It maintains topology table. OSPF maintains the neighbor table and the database table, right? So all the best routes from topology table, from database table and static routes, all the best routes will go inside routing information base REB. And control plane also takes care of learning the destination MAC. So the ARP cache is also maintained inside control plane. Then after applying all the logics and performing all the calculations, it gives the forwarding information to the data plane. Now data plane maintains the forwarding table. And this is called as FIB. FIB stands for Forwarding Information Base. Like I mentioned earlier, its responsibility is to forward traffic on different interfaces that we have. So whatever interface you have, let's say 0/1, 0/2, 0/3, all these interface line cards are connected to data plane and the data would be transmitted on these interfaces. Clear, guys?
Yep, clear.
Yes. This is how the three planes work together in traditional networks. Now, so far we have understood that how actually the network devices operate or work, correct? The question is that what is the problem? What's basically the limitation that we face when we use completely traditional networks, okay? So we'll think of a scenario to understand this. Let's assume that you have an enterprise network where we have ISP connection to my headquarter branch. It's a dual homed connectivity. This is your headquarter branch. And these are two edge routers. We have some firewall. Then we have layer 3 switches. Then some access layer switches. And then a server, which is hosting various applications. So this is your virtual machine number 1, virtual machine number 2, virtual machine number 3. All these are hosting applications for the employees. And we have this meshy connectivity. Then ISP also connects me to two of my other sites, where one is in, let's say, India, and the other is in Singapore. So the employees sitting at these branches access these applications hosted on different virtual machines. Now, guys, to make something like this possible, can I say I'll need many protocols to work together? Like I'll need some IGP, like OSPF or EIGRP, correct? I'll need some BGP configs. I'll need some tunnels, the IPsec tunnels or GRE tunnels, right? Then I'll need some, we can say, VLAN configurations. Some inter-VLAN configurations would be there, correct? There would be some NAT configuration. Some access control list would be established. I might have some subnetting calculations, right? And some STP manipulations, and so on, HSRP, VRRP, right? The list will keep on continuing, which is not a problem again. We can configure them all and can manage them all as a network engineer, right? The problem arises when there is a change which is supposed to be implemented or deployed. So in this scenario, if I say that all of a sudden, let's say you get a requirement of hosting another application, what will happen? You'll create another virtual machine, right? And those who would have worked with virtualization would know that spinning up a virtual machine hardly takes a few minutes, right? Depending on the resources and other things. But yeah, it's not a very big or difficult task or a lengthy process, right? But guys, making this virtual machine number 4 or the application hosted on that available to India and Singapore branch employees is a very big task, correct? You will have to create new VLANs on the switches. You will have to probably redefine your root bridge of spanning tree. You'll have to create new sub interfaces. You will have to create new subnets for each VLAN that you add. You'll have to maybe configure ACLs or add more rules into the ACLs. You'll have to configure VRRP, HSRP for the new VLANs, right? And then the new subnets are also supposed to be adjusted in the routing protocols onto the firewall, onto the NAT configuration, onto the tunnel configuration, right? Now, doing it all through CLI or manually, traditionally, is a slow and manual process, right? It might take hours for the network team to prepare the network for this new update that they have to do. And we all know we have to do it during the maintenance window. That means the business hours are getting impacted. Now, there is also a possibility that while all this manual process, my network engineer or maybe myself, while making all these configurations, I might do a typo somewhere and might make a mistake in the configuration. Then again, the process will be repeated. Again, I'll have to need many more hours to troubleshoot the problem, to figure out where exactly the problem lies, then fix that particular problem. Again, basically more maintenance hours. And even if I tell you the statistics, then Cisco says that most of the tag tickets that they resolve are fixed by simply fixing the configurations. So most of the times your network is facing an outage or you're facing a trouble. It's basically because maybe someone did a misconfig. So the possibility of human error is there. There is so much of slowness. There is so much of work that we have to do, right? And because there are so many devices, like this is a small setup that I have demonstrated here, but that's not how a headquarter branch would look like, right? There would be many more devices. So because it's a manual process, you will have to go onto these devices one by one and manage them. Why? Because it is a distributed model. You see, the control plane, the management plane, the data plane, all of them currently reside on these network devices, right? That's a distributed model. So you'll have to run the configuration separately on each and every network device one by one. But then if you transition to SDN, what happens there? Let's see. In SDN, we get a controller. A controller which will be centralizing the control plane of the devices. This is my ISP. This is my headquarter branch. This is my, let's say, Delhi branch. And this is my Singapore branch. The thing is that now all the connected devices will give their control plane to the controller. And I can manage all these sites just by sitting at a PC which connects to the controller. Because I have taken out the brains, right? Now, all these devices that we have here, and here, these are now dumb devices which will operate as per the commands of the controller. And this gives me the ability of managing the complete fabric right from this management PC. I can configure them, I can monitor them, I can manage them, and I can get the insights about the data which is there moving inside my complete network. So with SDN, we use a central controller for the control plane, and this gives us the ability of getting all the insights and managing the control plane of the network devices from a central location. Any questions here in understanding the concept of SDN? All right, a couple of terminologies here for you all to understand. The network, or we can say the connectivity, which goes from controller to the user. This is where your user will be sitting, right? So that interface is called as northbound interface. The interface that connects the user with controller. And the interface that controller connects with the network devices is called southbound interface. So the automation practices, or the automation is something that can be executed or practiced at northbound interface. You can use Python scripts, you can use third-party applications, you can use all these protocols that we have spoken about, APIs and stuff, for implementing configuration through the controller. Okay. Yes, Aram.
I have a quick question. Would I call it user, or that is the admin who make changes on the controller?
Right.
Is that that should be the admin, right?
Yeah, admin.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I meant the network admin or the network guy who would be managing the controller and managing the complete fabric.
All right, thanks.
Okay, so SDN is the parent technology, guys. SDN is not solution. It's a parent technology which includes solutions like SD-WAN, SD-Access, and ACI. SD-WAN is for the WAN infrastructure, SD-Access we use with campus networks, and ACI for the data centers. Yeah, so understanding this concept, understanding SDN was quite important before we dive into the concepts and topics related to automation. So if, again, you have got any sort of questions or doubts here, then you can raise your hands. Yes, Lalit.
Chirag, we're gonna cover the traditional network. While I remember you mentioned that we will also look at automating iOS devices. So
right. See, so one more clarity here, that our goal of the training would be learning first hybrid automation. Hybrid automation is where you interact directly with the devices. So we'll do that. Then later on, when we look at the APIs, we will understand how it can be done with controllers as well.
Sure. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, Christian.
I thought I lowered my hand. I was just gonna comment about the SDN technologies you called well Cisco, but obviously you are talking. I mean, it could include other non-Cisco SDN technologies, right? Like Arista Cloud Vision, all of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my examples and my discussions mostly would be with Cisco devices, or I should say always would be with Cisco devices, because pretty obviously we are here for CCNA DevNet, right? A Cisco program.
Yep.
We'll look through the Cisco examples only. But guys, the concepts we are learning, they are standard concepts. You can utilize the same knowledge and same practices with the other vendors as well, as and when required.
So, hi Chirag, Udit here. So for SDN to learn SDN, how much deep knowledge we should have about these OSRP, BGP, all these terms?
SDN, see, right now we are looking into automation. So I won't be getting too much into SDN right now. But I can definitely say understanding the traditional networks, understanding OSPF, BGP, EIGRP, they will definitely help you in understanding the WAN networks better, right? That's the next level we can say. So knowing the OSPF up to at least the CCNA level and knowing the BGP up to, let's say, NCore level is quite crucial to get into SD-WAN, because there you would be dealing with WAN networks. So you have to configure such things, right? OSPF, BGP, all these things.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yes, Aju?
Yeah, I missed that part. What was that outbound industry? Sorry, I missed that part.
Northbound and southbound. Northbound is the one that we connect with the controller. Southbound is the one that controller connects with the network devices. These are just the terminologies. So we would be working at the northbound interface.
Okay.
Yeah, hi Chirag. That controller is like a software or some kind of hardware device?
Okay, so this completely depends on the vendor and the solution you have taken. If I talk about Cisco, Cisco mostly provides it as a virtual machine. So you just have to host it on your server and you can use that device there on your server directly as a VM.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like it's like a client we use like a controller, like something like this, right?
Yes, we can say that like you will create some virtual machines and use them further to connect with your other devices.
Okay.
Like if I talk about SD-WAN, we get the controllers like manager, controller, orchestrator. These are some images that you will receive from Cisco if you take the solution. And you just need to onboard them. You need to add them in your infrastructure and use them to get the SD-WAN running in your setup. But then there could be a vendor who might sell their solution with a physical device, right? So it depends on the vendor and the solution you have taken.
Okay.
All right, then I guess we are good with the questions and concepts. So we'll be keeping it short and simple for today. I am not willing to overwhelm you with a lot of information on the very first class. So that was all for tonight, and I hope you enjoyed the first class. In the session tomorrow, we will be getting started with Python. First, I'll show you how to do the installation of Python, and I'll suggest you guys to do it with me in the class tomorrow, because there are a couple of options that I want you guys to make sure that you check them before installing Python, because otherwise we'll be in a trouble. So I would request you all to keep waiting for me until tomorrow. We'll do the installation together and we'll also get started with some fundamentals.